3 o'clock. It was the rehearsal chase, and the punters came for last week's Beecher Chase faller. Leading man, he was 6-1 Joint Fav with 2 miles west.
They're off. And in the early exchanges, so on the inside, we've got the outlier sharing the early work with Bobbin. Undeniable and 2 mile west, the top weight Idle Talk wide of aileron as they make the turn towards the first of 4 on this stretch of the track. These are followed through by Norton Brook, who's already being ridden along by Tony Evans in the striped jacket there, red cap on the inside. The favourites, or one of the market leaders, 2 miles west, is on the outside of runners. They take the first, over which all are safe, although Silver Sedge slipped on landing. Next one they take is an open ditch, and it's the outlier with the lead. 2 Undeniable and Bobbin and Idle Talk and aileron. And these are followed through by King Kilone, who sits midfield with leading man, dark jacket, red cap on the outside of Norton Brook. Then we have Canjar Dallier, 2 miles west, and Royal Rosa, followed then by Irish Wolf, who's a little bit down the pack, but in front of Harmony Brig, who has standing obligation behind. And Silver Sedge, course specialist here, is the back marker as they take fence number 3, over which there were 3 virtually in line. And they begin to meet rising ground coming towards fence number 4. It's the outlier leading to Undeniable in second, and Bobbin in Idle Talk, and Norton Brook on a more even keel now. Then Aileron, who sits on the inside of runners, King Kilone on his outer, followed through by Royal Rosa and leading man. Then Canjar Dallier in the white cap, 2 mile west, in a line of 4 midfield to Standing Obligation and Harmony Brig. After these comes Irish Wolf, still at the back of the pack. So they turn into the home straight for the first time in this WBX.com rehearsal chase, bypassing the damaged open ditch, and it's the outlier, can front run with the advantage. 2 Undeniable in second, and Idle Talk the top weight horse with the noseband. Norton Brook is in closing 4th now to Aileron and Bobbin, who was 3rd in the race last year. These go on to King Kilone, Canjar Dallier, then leading man and Royal Rosa, and 2 miles west to Harmony Brig and Silver Sedge towards the back as they pop over what will be the second last next time round. Standing Obligation also in arrears. So this will be the last, fence number 7 this time. Next time round it'll be 16, and 3 in the air together. Idle Talk, who's on the outside of the outlier and Undeniable, to Bobbin and Norton Brook and Aileron, and then King Kilone and Canjar Dallier and Royal Rosa, to leading man and Harmony Brig and 2 miles west, to Silver Sedge, Standing Obligation, and Irish Wolf at the back. Swinging left-handed and race down the hill away from the enclosures. 2 miles jacket just along there, McGrath to keep his position. Irish Wolf is still tail end Charlie. Standing Obligation a long way down the pack as they level up down this side of the course and down towards fence number 8. And it's the outlier with the lead here to Idle Talk the outside and Bobbin. Then Undeniable, Aileron close up, King Kilone being pushed along, Norton Brook and Royal Rosa and red cap of leading man. The grey, one of the greys, Canjar Dallier the inside. Top weight Idle Talk took over there, and at the rear of the field, 2 miles west, was a faller. Looks if horse and jockey are okay. This is the 9th coming to it. Idle Talk with the lead to the outlier in second place. Leading man a slight mistake, and Irish Wolf hasn't got into this. Here comes King Kilone making good ground the outside of Bobbin as they go past their point of departure and towards fence number 10. 4 fences to jump on this stretch of the track. And it's Idle Talk, the outlier, Bobbin and King Kilone across the track. The orange of Undeniable, red cap the rail Aileron to Canjar Dallier, and then behind these, just making a bit of stealthy progress, Harmony Brig to Royal Rosa and Standing Obligation and leading man. It's Bobbin, who was 3rd in the race last year, takes over at that ditch to Idle Talk and the stripes of King Kilone, then Undeniable and Aileron and Canjar Dallier. Harmony Brig continues to make good progress. Royal Rosa starts to get going. Standing Obligation and the outlier, who was prominent on this ground, can't go with them. Continuing the run down the far side, reminders for King Kilone, but it's Bobbin the grey. Idle Talk runs the rail, and then King Kilone and Undeniable, then Aileron the red cap out wide, then comes Harmony Brig, Standing Obligation, Canjar Dallier, Royal Rosa, and to the outlier. So they continue the run down the far side. This is the 4th from the finish. Bobbin, Idle Talk, Undeniable and Aileron are the 4 in line there. to, in 5th place, King Cologne. Standing Obligation, still with the black sleeves, Harmony Brig makes ground. Then Royal Rosa again comes into it. Canjardelier under pressure. They start the turn in. Over half a mile to go. And the lightly weighted Undeniable has the edge here. But Aileron, the red cap, in second. Harmony Brig is showing in third. Here comes Royal Rosa in the wily half jacket on the outside of Standing Obligation, who are going to play a part in this, you think. Come down towards the third from the finish. And the 5 up front. Red cap Aileron. Orange jacket Undeniable. Black sleeves Harmony Brig. On the stand side, Royal Rosa, that's the left, met that well. Undeniable a faller. King Cologne a bad mistake. Standing Obligation hits the wall, but it's going to be Harmony Brig into the lead with 2 to jump. Harmony Brig took it riskily, but Aileron in second place, then Royal Rosa, and then behind the Standing Obligation. Just got 1 more to jump, and it's Harmony Brig and Brian Harding pressed now by Aileron. This is the last. Harmony Brig, Aileron 1 and 2, Royal Rosa, Standing Obligation 3 and 4, and Harmony Brig under Brian Harding strides away for Nicky Richards and takes the WBX Rehearsal Chase in good style. Aileron is second, Royal Rosa third, Standing Obligation, and they're a long way clear of Irish Wolf, who finished 5th but never posed any threat.
A deserved one at 14 to 1. Aileron second, Royal Rosa third. That was the Rehearsal of 2007.